Right, guys. In the last class, normalization techniques we discussed, and now today we will start at PLSQL. But first, initially, PLSQL first theory. We will discuss here completely theory sessions. That means in this theory classes, we should know and we will know that what is the differences of SQL and PLSQL, and why the people was introducing PLSQL futures when you comparing to SQL, and when you comparing to SQL, what kind of differences are there? Which feature is not supported in SQL and which one is supported into PLSQL. So these all are completely theory, and later PLSQL architecture, PLSQL structure, how we can declare your variables. So these all the things it will be come to you. And suppose you have already good idea on C language or Java language or .NET, Python, then you can easily understand what now PLSQL, because PLSQL is completely it's related to what now programming language. So if you know the if else conditions, while loop conditions, for loops, and variable declarations, how to declare variable, how to assign the values to the variables, how to print your variables values. So this kind of idea, if you have it already in by using of your front end languages like C, C++, Java, .NET, Python, if these languages idea you have it now, then PLSQL is also very simply understand. If you don't have the languages awareness like C language, C++, Java, these languages awareness, if you don't have it now, then little bit confusion. All right, but still each and every point I will explain to you, so don't worry. So what we will say it here. The first thing is carefully observe, don't write anything. This document I will share to you, just listen. Because it is completely theory session. Right. So now first thing is the PLSQL stands for procedural language we called. And this language was introducing, or it is extension of SQL language also we called. How we can call it as C++ is extension of C. How we can call same as PLSQL is also extension of SQL. And this PLSQL, when it was introduced, means Oracle 6.0. So that means, can you remember in early classes we discussed complete versions 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, 5.0, 6.0, 7.0, 8.0, 8i, 9i, 10g, 11g, 12c, and 18c, and finally 19c. So that means from 1.0 to 5.0 up to here, there is no PLSQL. We have only SQL language. But now 6.0 onwards, this language was introduced here. But why, sir? And we all of you know, if any extension language or extension technology was introducing, means already existing language or existing technology having some drawbacks. Same like that, SQL is also, as of now we are discussing SQL language queries and some topics we discussed. But in those things, even though we have some problems, even though we have some drawbacks, and which we can't do by using of SQL language, that we can do by using of a PLSQL. That what we can't do in SQL, observe one by one. SQL, first difference observe. SQL is called a non-procedural language, whereas PLSQL is called as a procedural language. So non-procedure, procedure. What it means, sir? Your C language, C++, Java, .NET, Python, these are all comes under procedures category. Procedures category. So in this procedures, again, two types, non-object oriented and object oriented, that is a secondary. But almost every language is a procedures. But sir, how I can say my language is a procedural language, sir? How I can say C is a procedure, C++ is a procedure, Java is a procedure, .NET is a procedure? How I can say? Means that the reason is what now? The language which can support it, the language which can supports multi-line statement execution process. So now we can see in a C, are you writing class program? So that means, are you writing what now? Multi-line statements you are writing. So multi-line statements we are going to be compiling and executing. Like same as in C++, same as in Java, same as in .NET, same as in Python. So these are all languages supporting what now? Multi-line statement execution process. That is a one reason we called as it is a procedures. Second reason is what now? These all procedures languages are supporting conditional statements and control statements. Conditional statements means what now? If else, nested if else, multiple if else, while loop, for loop, switch cases. These are all are comes under if and what we call conditional and looping statements. So these are all are supported by all C language, C++, Java, .NET, etc. So like these all languages are supporting to declarations of variables, assigning some variables either static level or fixed level or dynamic levels. That is also possible. So, and these languages are supporting exception handlings. That is also supported. Okay, na? So these all kind of these things, when it was supported, na, then simply can say that it comes under procedures. But these are whatever we said, these are not supported in SQL. SQL, anywhere you see in our topics, anywhere I written like a group of statements? No. SQL is completely query based language. Query means what now? One line statement, insert query, update query, delete query, select query, join query, sub query, everything we written only single line statements. So that means SQL is not supporting multi-line statement execution process. That's why it is called a non-procedures. In SQL language, can you find out anywhere I'm using if-else conditions? No. For loop conditions? No, because SQL doesn't support. In SQL, we can't, anywhere you check it out like a declare variable. Are you declared any variables? No, that is not supported. In SQL language, anywhere you identified exception handlings? No, because that is also not supported. So these things are not supported into SQLs. That's why SQL is called a non-procedure, where PLSQL called a procedure. This is the first difference. And here I said, SQL supports single line statement is nothing but a query execution process, whereas PLSQL supports multi-line statements is nothing but program execution process. So now here single line, multi-line advantage is what, sir? Let me see one small explanation. Suppose this is single line statement execution process in my SQL. As a diagram, what do you understand here? User, database, server. So the user insert query, that means same query or different query, it's your wish. A same query, I'm sending how many times? 3 times. So first time I'm sending this one, I'm sending my first time. So when I'm sending first time, what it was happened, this first time, whatever you send, that will take as a one request to your server. Server, what it will do, this query request, first it will be go to compile. The query first it will be go to compile. So compilation success. Compilation success means what it will do next, execution. After execution, what it will do, final result of that query or output will be produced, released. So like this, careful observe, the same query, first time I'm sending, it will treat as a new request. The request will be compile, execute, sending response. Second time, the same query, again I'm sending to my server. Again, what it will do, again it will treat as a new request. Again compilation, again execution, again response. Again the same query, third time I'm inserting here. Again third time is also your server will take as a new request. Again compilation, again execution, sending response. So that means what it was happen, a query request, how many times the user sending to my server, my database server, every time your database server will treat that query request as a new request. So if it is a new, definitely I need to compile. So that means how many times compilations are happened here? 3 times. So 3 times your request will go to database. Database will take 3 times compilation of your query, 3 responses sending to client or user. This is burden, and it was reducing the performance of a database. The question is, why should I want to perform 3 compilations, sir? If a same query, I'm sending 3 times, then why 3 times it will compile? Is it any necessity to do like this? No. One compilation is enough now. Because same query, I'm not changing now. If you do any modification in the query, then you require a compilation. But the same query, as it is, I'm sending to my server, then server, why it was taking 3 times compilation? It is a unnecessary thing. So this unnecessary compilation, what it was going to be happen, unnecessarily compilation will increase the burden on database and reduces the performance of database. That's the point we discussed. In SQL, every query statement is compiling and executing individually so that number of compilations are increased and reduce performance of database. So to overcome this problem, the people was using PLSQL blocks. PLSQL block advantage is what now? Here, whatever you can write, you are writing query now, you are writing programming code now, whatever it was. But everything should be right under blocks only. A block is nothing but what now? Group of statements, set of statements is called as a block. Now see, the same insert query, the 3 times whatever I'm sending there, the 3 times queries I'm returning into one block. If I return one block, either same query or insert, update, delete, different queries are your wish. But whatever you send, how many queries you can pass, that all queries together, I grouped and I written under a block. I kept under a block. When you kept like this, then what it was happening here, this entire the block, whatever you return, this entire block statements will take as a how many requests? One request. So a block is nothing but set of statements. But every block will take as a one request. So treat as a one request. The one request means how many compilations? One compilation, execution, sending response. But the same scenario in SQL, how many compilations? 3. But here, which performance is good? PLSQL. Understand now? This is the one of the major difference here. That's why what I'm saying. In PLSQL, all SQL queries are grouped into a single block and which will compile and executed only one time, so that it will reduce number of compilation and improve the performance of a database. So along with this feature, again, we have some other features. Okay, when you comparing to SQL and PLSQL. So what is the first one? Improving performance that I already explained. Supporting conditional statements and looping statement, but this is not supported into SQL. Supporting reusability techniques. Okay, by using of a function procedures, I can reusable, but this kind of things I can't do in your SQL. Providing security because of reason. Why it was secure, sir? Because of reason. Your all programs are saved in a database. And suppose are you writing some programming code, then that entire code, programming code, are you saved into your database memory. And that programming source code or code, if a person want to see or want to view, then the person, unauthorized persons can't see my code. So unauthorized means what now? Who are not having permissions. So who are having permissions, those people only can see my code. Understand na? So that is one advantage, your security of a code. So everyone, they can't go and check my coding or check my whatever the code I developed. Only those people will go for that. That is called a authorized people. Authorized people means what now? Who are having the permissions which was given by database administrator in real time. So those persons or those programmers only can see my programming code. So that kind of high level securities are there in a PLSQL. Next, supporting portability nature. Portability means what now? Suppose are you developing one program in one platform. Platform means OS. In one particular OS, whatever the code you developed here, that code you can run into any platform. For same example, your Java also na? Yeah, Java can be developed in a Windows operating system. Suppose some Java program are you developed by using Windows operating system. That same programming code, can I run into Linux? Yes or no? Yes. That's called a platform independence, same as your PLSQL also. Supporting exception handlings. If it is a programming language, it means that definitely there is a chances to occur runtime errors. Yes or no? If it is a programming language, means compulsory runtime errors are occurred. There is a more chances. So if it is occurred, then how I can handle, sir? Means that there is some handling methods are there. By the help of handling methods, I can handle my runtime errors which was occurred in my program. So that is also support, but these are not there in your SQL. Next one is what now? PLSQL, one more advanced feature is what now here? Supporting modular programming technique. What is the mean by modular programming means? For example, are you developing one application in real time? For application development purpose, you need to write some code. So you're writing. Certain period of time, automatically the code levels are increases. Increases means a big code is forming. It will be forming slowly, whether we are writing, finally that code will be very big code will come to you. So when it was a very big code, then entire the code compilation, execution, finding errors and exceptions are highly complex to the programmer. Because if there is 100 lines of code is there, in 100 lines of code, and where my compilation error is occurred, where it's my exception is occurred, that is somewhat difficult to identify the programmers. So that's what they will do to maintain 100 lines of code in one class program. What they will do, this code, they will be split into small units. The small units in Java you called as a functions. Yes or no? In a class, can I create a multiple functions? Yes. So function, public void function name, some piece of code. Public void function number 2, some piece of code. Public void function number 3, some piece of code. So when you are writing your multiple functions, a function is nothing but piece of code. Okay, na? Certain block of code. If you're writing like this, advantage is what now? Which function body you wanted to call into other class, exactly that function can I call na? Yes or no? For example, you can do simple example. Addition, subtraction, multiple, division. What I'm going to do, this 4 arithmetic operational code I'm writing into one function. Okay, na? First I'm writing like this. So addition code, subtraction code, multiple, division. This all 4 arithmetic operational code logics are I'm writing into one function body, or in one class, one function. What happened? If you want to call, okay, addition, you want it actually to call. But when we are calling my function, along with addition, what remaining functions also calling now? Yes. Is it necessary? No. Then the code will be divided into addition, separate one function, subtraction one function, multiple is one function, division is one function. If you split your code into 4 divisions, then what happened? Which you wanted, that you can call na? Yes. So instead of calling my entire the programming code, a particular block, a particular function, a particular method code I can call with the help of objects. So that is what now? Flexibility to the programmers. That kind of thing is called a modular programming. Almost your Java is also supporting modular programming. .NET also supported, Python also supported modular programmings. So our PLSQL also support, but this kind of nature is not available under SQL. So these are the 6 to 7 points are there, which was differentiates in between SQL and PLSQL. Okay, right. Come to next PLSQL architecture. Architecture means if I'm going to writing a PLSQL program, how the program execution will be happen. For example, in Java, because your Java students are so many, na? So Java students, tell me, what is your execution process of Java? Java source code, that is a language compilers are there. Language compilers converting Java code in Java source code into which code? Bytecode? Yes, bytecode. Again, the bytecode converting into mission code by the help of JVM. This is execution process, yes or no? Same as here also. If I'm going to writing a PLSQL program, how my PLSQL block program is going to be executed. Okay. Now you can see there are two kind of things I can use under PLSQL. One is I can write my SQL queries. You can use implement SQL queries also, as well as PLSQL code also. So suppose in your PLSQL program, as per my requirement, I am using SQL query and also PLSQL code. That is two languages statements are I used. If I'm writing my program, the combination of SQL and PLSQL, I'm writing one program. Then what it was happened, this entire programming code, I need to submit. When I submit in your Oracle server, what it was happened, there are two engines are there. One is we called a PLSQL engine, SQL engine. These are the two engines are having or maintained by Oracle. Why, sir? Means that SQL is a different language. SQL language queries are understanding only SQL language compilers. PLSQL language code is understanding by PLSQL compilers. And of course, all of you know, every programming language is having its own language compiler. Yes or no? Java source code, can I compiled by Python compilers? No, Python cannot understand. Python programming code compiled by language compilers? So Java compilers? No, Java cannot understand. So what you understand in the front end side, every programming language is having its own compilers, and that related language only understand. Java, Java compiler. C#.NET, C#.NET compilers. Python, Python compilers. C, C compilers. C++, C++. So every programming language is having like that. Same as your SQL language queries are PLSQL engine doesn't understand. That's called a PLSQL executors cannot understand SQL queries because SQL is a different language. PLSQL code, who didn't understand? SQL. That's why the two engines are maintained. So what it will be happen here, when I'm submitting this request, the request will go to, because it is a PLSQL block now, first the PLSQL request will go to PLSQL engine. PLSQL engine, what it will do first of all, in this PLSQL block request, is there any SQL related queries are there or not there? Checking. Suppose if it is not there, then that entire PLSQL engine code, they're sending to whom? PLSQL executors. Then PLSQL executors will take the responsibility to compile, execute and sending output. Suppose, sir, the two kind of languages combination is there. Then what the PLSQL engine will do? So your SQL query related things are separated. PLSQL related things are separated. Then PLSQL, what it will do? SQL query, PLSQL engine cannot understand. That's why that query is sending to whom? SQL engine. SQL engine internally contains what now? SQL executors. These SQL executors will take the responsibility to compile of your SQL query. Query compilation, execution, sending response. Same as PLSQL engine separating PLSQL code separately, SQL code separated, SQL query sending to SQL engine, PLSQL code sending to PLSQL engine. In PLSQL engine, PLSQL executor will take the responsibility to compile and execute your PLSQL code. And your SQL engine is having SQL executor to take the responsibility to compile and execute the code. So these are the two missions, two engines will be maintained by server. So by that reason, we can write SQL, we can write a PLSQL. The both will be internally executing, compiling, executing and sending the related outputs. So this is what PLSQL engine we called and SQL. That's why we given here. Whenever we are submitting a PLSQL block into Oracle server, then all SQL queries means SQL statements are separated and executing by SQL query executor within SQL engine. Whereas all PLSQL related statements, are separated and executing by PLSQL code executor within the PLSQL engine. So these are the internal working and execution of your program. Okay, right. And next, here I said everything should be right in the blocks. This is called a block, PLSQL block. Okay, na? But sir, what is block here and how many types of blocks are supported in our PLSQL? So block is nothing but, guys, here just now I said it is a set of statements which are compiled and executed by Oracle as a single unit. A block is nothing but single unit. And here two types of blocks we have it here. One is we call anonymous and subblocks. What is the differences between anonymous and subblocks? Here observe. Anonymous blocks are called unnamed blocks. Suppose if I'm going to writing my code or else I'm developing my code under anonymous block, then the block doesn't have any name. You directly open your SQL Plus editor and directly connect and open, and you can write your programming code start directly. So declaration of variables, logic, print statement, everything you can write. Okay, na? But the program doesn't having any name. But subblock is not like that. When the same code, if I'm writing under subblock, then subblock must be have a name. That's why it is called a named block. Next, second point. Anonymous block code is not saved. Why it is not saved? Because we are not giving any name of that code. That's why you just write your plain text file. This is like a plain text. You are writing your programming code. The code is going to be compiling. The code is going to be executed. And the program output will be displayed. That's it. But this entire the code I cannot save. Anonymous blocks are not saving blocks. But same code, suppose you want it, sir, I want to save my code, sir. Then what do you want to do? The same code you want to write under subblocks. Because subblocks advantage what now? Whatever you can write in subblock. The subblock code, 100 lines or 1000 lines of code you written, that entire program will be saved. And the programming code, whenever, wherever you want it, there you can call also. That's called a reusability. That kind of advantage is there under subblock. But the anonymous is not there. So anonymous is not saving so that you cannot reusable. Subblocks are saving, that's why we can reusable my code. That's one point. Anonymous blocks, what it was saying, fourth point, every time compilation is required. Your code is modified or not modified, existing code or whatever, how many times that code will be executed, that many times it will go to compilation. So automatically time consumer process. But subblocks are not like that. Subblocks are called as what? Pre-compiled block. Pre-compilation means already my code is compiled when it was first time. So first time my new program I'm writing and first time I'm executing that program, at the first attempt only your entire code will be compiled successful. And that compilation code directly saved into database. That's why second time if that code is calling, then the code will never go to compilation again. Directly executed, giving output. So that means here compilations are not necessary. It means time saving now. Yes. So now these are all 4 points you can observe. Anonymous blocks are having any advantage? No, because no name, no saving, no reusability, every time compilation, time consumer process. These all look like a drawbacks, no? But where the real-time people are using, sir? If anybody asks you, then real-time people are using where? Database testing side. So whenever you need to test your code, first the people will be like, in Java side you are listening like a white box testing, black box testing, yes or no? Same as here also in database side I'm telling now, not Java side. In database programmers, what they will do, whether they want to test their code, first that code they will keep into anonymous block. They keep into anonymous block and run, your anonymous block will be running. Once it was run that program, there it will be checking everything is good or not. Suppose everything is good, then the code will transfer to subblocks. The code will transfer to subblocks. If anything is happened here only compilation error, here only exceptions are there, then here only it will be rectified. Rectify and later testing, again all problems are rectified, again the code send it to subblocks. So that's why testing level anonymous blocks are one of the major role will play in real time. But nowadays what it was happen, no one can test like this because it is a multiple times you need to write a code. Here you can write and the code copy and paste into subblock. So why should I want to go for this lengthy process? Nowadays what it was happen, either right or wrong, the people are writing and directly subblocks. Because here I'm writing and here I'm writing, 2 times writing means time saving or time consuming. That's why what it was happen nowadays, anonymous blocks are totally outdated actually. So no one can use present. Very rare people, okay, when they was following some systematical mechanisms, then only they can go. But nowadays what happened, directly the program can be write into subblock. In subblock only they will be compiled. In subblock only they will be rectifying the exception problems also. Okay, now? Right. But that is what present is going on for time saving purpose. But if you go to as a systematical pattern, okay, then you have to write first in anonymous, then you have to compare this all the things here and avoid the problems, then finalize the code, and the finalized code you can send it to subblock. That is actually the way of pattern. Okay. So this is what now advantage. And subblock codes are where you want to use, sir, means that here it was used into your application development side. Which type of applications? Java applications, you can use subblocks. .NET applications, you can use subblocks, and database application. But here some people are asking, Python students are there. Sir, Python students are not necessary. Yeah, PLSQL means no. Python students are no need PLSQL knowledge. Because PLSQL, they can't use in any Python application. So PLSQL language is only for Java and .NET students and database students. So that's why Python student, if anybody asks me, sir, you mentioned only Java, .NET and database only mentioned, why not Python means? Actually, in Python, you are not using any PLSQL. You are using what now? Your Django frameworks. That's a different, MongoDB, etc. But you are using SQL queries with the MongoDB combination. But PLSQL is not required for Python students. That's why Python students are not necessary to learn PLSQL. Okay, na? That's the choice of Python student. Right. So these are the 2 kind of blocks. And now tell me, which blocks are good? Of course, subblocks are having some advantages. But in my classes, first we will discuss with the anonymous blocks, and each and every point practically we can check whether it is happening or not. Then after we will go to subblocks. Okay. Come to anonymous blocks first. So when I'm using anonymous block to write some programming code, okay, again, the programming code will divide it into 3 blocks. Okay, na? Careful, observe my point. When you want to write some programming code in anonymous block, then what happened? This programming code you can write in 3 levels. 3 levels means 3 blocks. What is that? First block is called as what now? Declaration block. So what is declaration block, sir? In the name only there. Which block? Declarations. That means for your program wise, whatever you declared means int x comma y comma z. This is called what? Declarations of variables. So whatever you declared variables, you declared cursor variables, you declared user defined exception names, whatever it is, declaration related code you can write under declaration block. And declaration block starts with the declare statement. Which statement? Declare statement. Declare your required variables, your required cursors, your required user defined exception names, whatever you wanted, you can declare. That means in declaration block, you can't write a logic. That means if else logic, while loop logic, for loop logics, where I can write execution block. You can't write these logics under declaration. Declaration only for declaration purpose. Understand na? Right. And start with the declare statement. And declaration block is not a mandatory block. Is a optional. It means what, sir? Suppose in your program, there is not necessary to declare variable. Then if there is no declaration of any variable now, then I don't want to use declaration block. I can directly write a execution block. Okay, now that's why declaration block is called as what? Optional. Next, come to execution block. Execution block starts with the begin statement, end with the end statement. This is called as a main block. It means what, sir? For example, your Java program or .NET programs, without a main method, can you run your program? Huh? Not possible. So main method is important. Huh? Yes. You can write any program. You can write hundreds of lines of code. You can write big program, small program, none of the matter. But if my program want to run, means what should be needed? Main method. Without main method, you can't run the program in Java.NET. Yes or no? So same as anonymous blocks also, declaration block is optional. Whether you can mention or not, it's depending on your variable. Next, exception block is also optional. Because of reason, exceptions there are. If it is there, use. Not there, don't use. But the execution block is a mandatory block. Without this block, you can't develop any code. And you can't run your program also. So in this block, what I'm going to do? Main logics. The main code logic I'm writing here. Okay, now? Right. Next, exception block. Exception block we are using for handling exceptions. Suppose in my execution block, I written some logic. If x by y, okay, I'm writing here. X by y is equals to 0. X is equals to 10, 10 by 0. 10 by 0, what exception? Arithmetic exception is occurred. That's called a divide by 0 exception. So that exception is handled. Then I have to use a exception block. So if any exception is occurred in your execution block or in your PLSQL execution block, those exceptions can be handled. For handling levels, compulsory exception block should be used. How you people are using in Java.NET try block, catch blocks? Using a without try block, can you implement your exception handlings? No. So how we are using try block, catch block, and throw block, finale blocks, how we are using? Same as here also, to handle my exceptions purpose. Which block I want to use? Exception block. But tell me, try block, is it mandatory blocks in your class? Optional, na? So you want it, you can use. Otherwise, no need. Yes, sir. Same here also. Exception block is a optional. If you want to use to handle exceptions, compulsory. If there is no exception in my program, I don't want to use. That's why it is also optional. And finally come to structure. See the structure. First, declaration block. Declaration block starts with the declare statement. Under declare statement, what I declared? Variables, cursors, user defined, exception names. That's it. Come to. Next one is what? Begin. Begin block is called as what? Execution block. In that execution block, what I'm going to do? I'm writing SQL queries. I'm developing PLSQL code. Then after, exception block starts with exception statement. In that exception block, I'm handling some exceptions logics. So end, and here one more very important. What is this? Slash. The slash is representing execution of your program. Suppose, are you writing one Java program in Java? Coding, complete code you written. Then I want to run that code, run that program. How to run? Come on, here some jar file, something is there, na? Running of. Suppose are you writing one program here, one class program, you written, code is developed. Okay, sir, written. Now the program I want to run. How to run? What we are using? Java C. Compilation. Then execution also done, na? So that means after writing your program or programming code, you are compiling execution purpose, you are separately something you written, yes or no? For program execution purpose. Like .NET people they are using some F5 keyword or something. .NET students, then they want to they compile and execute their code. They're pressing what now? Fi keyword they're pressing. Automatic program will be compile and execute. So debug option will be there for .NET people. So now you people will do some process. Same as in PLSQL also, are you declaring some x comma y comma z variable? Are you writing some a plus b addition program? Are you using some exception if there or not, the checking and writing the logic, and finally end. So what it was happened, my program successfully developed. But this program I need to compile now. I need to run now. The running symbol is called as what? Slash. If slash is not used now, then your program never compiled. Never compile, never execute. You can just leave it that enter, you can mark enter, but nothing will be executed. Your program will be as it is. So that's why what should be end of the program should use a slash. Slash is, remember, it is a execution symbol. Whenever your program want to compile and execute in PLSQL, then you must be use a slash. Without slash, your program will not go to compilation. Your program not go to execution. Okay, na? Right. Now in this, first we will discuss how to declare a variable. Okay, now you all of you know very well. In any language, C, Java, .NET, tell me, what is the syntax to declare variable in Java? First, data type. Data type, variable name. Initializing values are optional. Either you can declare at a declaration time or runtime level. So that is a syntax. Same here also. So declare is a my statement, but here quite opposite. In front end side, first data type, later variable name. But back end side, first variable name, later data type. So that is my syntax. So variable name, data type, size, if it is required. Some example I was given. Declare. Under declare, A is called as what? Variable name. A is a which type of variable? Number. Or A is a which type of variable? Integer. B is a variable name. Which type? Varchar. So in SQL language, whatever the data types are, the same data types are carry forward. Okay, na? Carry forward. So there is no separate any data types here. Right. So now this is first declaration. After declaration, what we want to do? We need to initialize some value. We need to initialize. Initialize means assigning some value. Here, very important observe. Generally, in the languages, if I want to assign some value to the variable, then I'm using equal operator. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes. But this equal operator not supporting in PLSQL. Whenever you need to store some value or assign some value, then you must be use what now? Colon is equals to variable name X colon equals to value. If you use a colon equals is called as a assignment operator in PLSQL. This operator only change, remaining all are same. Okay, na? This is a new operator introduced here. So now X colon equals to value. So that means I can't do like this, but I can assign colon like this. Understand, na? This is assignment. So how I was assigned here? A colon is equals to 1021 because A is a which type I declared here? Integer or number type. So that's why number I'm assigning. B is a which type? Varchar. Varchar means what? String and string name. Single quotes are there, na? Yes, single. So now here I was given for your understanding. Colon is equals to is called a assignment operator in PLSQL, but equals to is called a comparison operator. So comparison operator is different. Assignment operator is different. Okay, na? Right. After declaration, after assignment values to the variable, now these variables values I need to print on my screen. How to print your Java program output? System.out.println. Using or not? For what purpose? Data output. The program output want to print it. Same as how you people are using system.out.println in Java programs. Same to same in PLSQL programs. I'm using what? DBMS underscore output dot put underscore line of variable x comma y, which you want to print that variable name, or else even though we can message user friendly messages also. Like you're printing hello statements. Yes or no? Hello world statements. How are you printing? Same as your user defined statements, I can print. For example, here I was given dbms underscore output dot put underscore line A. So A means A value, how much printed? 1021. B value, how much printed? Sai. And suppose you need to give your own message to printer, then you can write a welcome to PLS. So these are the three steps: declaration of variable, assigning values to the variable, and printing those variable values. Okay, now one small program I will show you. What is the program? To print a welcome to PLSQL statement. Okay, now you just come out. How the PLSQL is going to be used? Here some people are asking, sir, PLSQL programs writing purpose, we want to install any separate software? Okay, now some people have a doubt. No need. Same software. Which software? SQL plus only. Here only you can write. As usual, how you previously working, same. Open your database SQL plus editor. What is your account? MyDB 4 p.m. MyDB 4 p.m. Same as usual. Remaining as usual. Set page size. Okay, set lines. This is common here. Okay, now? Right. After that, I just clear this. Now, this is your editor where you want to write a programs. Okay. What is my first one? I need to print some statement. So print some statement means here I don't require any variables. I don't require any variables means declaration block is no need to write. So that's why directly execution block. Execution block starts with the begin. Now in this begin statement, I want to print dbms underscore output dot put underscore line of, what do you want to say? Welcome to PLSQL. Okay. Now end. So now see, if I didn't give slash, if you enter directly, number of times you can enter, but program not executed. That's why what should be used? Slash. Then it will be say program executed. What is the program? PLSQL procedure successfully completed. But sir, okay, PLSQL procedure successfully completed, the message I got it. But where is my printout? What I need to print? Welcome to PLSQL. PLSQL, welcome to PLSQL. So the statement is printed. Output is showing or not showing? Not showing. So how I can show it, sir? Means that there is a one property you need to set. Which property? Server output property. The server output property by default, which connection? Off connection. Server output. So this property by default off. That's why your Oracle server will not display output. That is called a server output. Okay, this is a default. That's why what I want to make it on. The server output connectivity, I need to make it on. Okay, after on, again execute my entire program by slash. Now you can see, got it? Welcome to PLSQL. Suppose in the same case, okay, again you set server output is what? Off. If I make it off, then again entire program re-execute. What happened? Output is not showing. So that means if you want to see your PLSQL program output, what we need to set? Server output property is on. Default off. So that's why you make it on. You make it on. Okay. Then after re-execute, then you will get a welcome to PLSQL. So this is one small. But tell me, in this program, I'm using any declaration blocker? Any exception blocker? No. So that means now tell me, declaration block, exception blocks, both are optional, sir? Yes. So this is one program we have. Next one, same as. Very basic program. See, here I was explaining completely. Okay, what is server output on or off? Okay, na? Right. Next one is to print some variable values. Here variable values I want to print. It means that compulsory first I want to declare variables. In which block I want to declare variables? Declaration block. Then to these variables I need to assign some values. Second step, declaration of variables, assigning values, printing values. So printing values what now? dbms underscore. And here printing values, this is, you can observe, variables values are up to here is called as a string. To this string I am concatenation. Can you remember this symbol? What purpose I'm using? Adding purpose. So now variables values are, this is called a entire the string. To this string expression I'm adding which value? X value. To this x value I'm adding what? Comma. To this comma I'm adding what? Y value. But you are asking one question, sir, concatenation operator will adding string expressions, adding what? Strings. But sir, x comma y is which type? Integer, number. But how it was added means that by default data type of PLSQL is called a string. That's why here no need to do any conversion. So automatically when you're using concatenation symbol along with your some user defined statement, automatically by default that will automatically convert it into string. That's why here you are using, you people are using in Java typecasting, cast, as or parse you are using. It's not necessary here for converting, okay now, because default is a string format. So now that's why directly I'm going to write. So this is what output is going to be displayed. So same thing when you come out and see. Okay, first which block I have to do? Declaration. Suppose A is one, okay, variable. Next we called as what now? B is a one variable. Then I have to go begin block. Then what I say? A is equals to some 100 and B colon is equals to 200. Then what I want to say? dbms underscore output dot put underscore line of what I want to display? X concatenation comma concatenation Y. Okay na? Fine. And finally end and execute my program. Yes. So something is missing, guys. X must be declared. Here AB, but I'm using what? XY. Just why it was asking X must be declared. So that's why what I'm going to do. Again, I just rewrite my program. So A, B, begin, A value, B value, print. So print what? A concatenation, comma, concatenation B. Is it clear? Right. End your begin statement and execute. So 100, comma, 200. Okay, na? So this is declaration of variable, assigning value to the variable, printing variable values. But here, can you tell me, whatever the values I assigned here, whatever the values I assigned to my A comma B, these values, can I change in this program? A comma B values, can I change in this program? Can you change? No. How can you change here? Already you declared 100 comma 200. I want to change this value. Possible? No need. Here not possible, because whatever you assign the value to the variable, those are fixed values. Those values cannot be changed. Now tell me, if you want to change your variable values at my runtime level, what type of variables I want to declare? Static variable or dynamic variable? Dynamic variables. Dynamic variables advantage what? The variable values are passing by programmer at a execution runtime level, not at a declaration level. Yes or no? So that means when you're declaring your dynamic variables, then we possible, we can change our values. Okay, we can change values or not? Every time you can change the values. So how you can declare this dynamic variables? Okay, na? Already you know which symbol I'm using. Ampersand. Can you remember ampersand in SQL language? No. Insert command I'm explaining. Yes or no? Once recheck your notes. Ampersand is there, na? Same ampersand is here also, you can see. If any interview person is asking how to input values at runtime level to the variables in PLSQL, means you can use a ampersand. Okay, na? So same ampersand as I'm using Let me come out and see. Let me come out and see. So first which block? Declare block. So X some number. Okay. Y is some number. Okay. Next what? Begin. And what do you say? X is equals to ampersandage of X and Y is equals to ampersandage of Y. And what I want to do, dbms underscore what? Output dot put underscore line of what do you want to say? X plus Y. So that means here I'm adding addition is concatenation of X plus Y. Is it okay now? Right. So now I just then end to execute now. See, asking your X value asking which level? Runtime. What is asking? Enter value for X. I was entered 10. Next, what it was asking? Enter value for Y. I'm asking 20. So then addition. How much addition? 30. So now change. Now X comma Y value change. Then what I want to use, re-execute my program. Then it is asking 55. Now 66. 121. Next execute. X value 74. 22, then 96. So dynamically we changed yes. But can you identify, sir, every X comma Y values between some old and new, something is coming out here. Yes or no? These are old and new what's are called. These are the bind variables. But bind variables explanation I'm not giving here. In future classes, you can understand. In triggers concept, there I will explain this, what is bind variable. So up to there, what I'm going to do, I just hide. So how to hide? Set verify is make it off. By default, verify is on. Now off. Then execute. Enter X value 55. Y value 44. Now you got it. Old and new got it. Hey. Old and new got it. No. So the statements are not got it. Direct output. Now you can see. Now 55. 88. Output. So old and new statements are hiding. Suppose you wanted that. What do you want to use? Set verify is on. You want it means. You want it means make it on. You don't want it means make it off. So now on. Now we can see X value 66. Came old and new came yes. Next 55. So came and output showing. But I don't want it that. Will be confused. That's what we want to make it now. Set verify off. That's the better. And to execute now, okay, now, so it will be come to you. So this is what dynamic variables, how to declare. Understand now? Yes. So these are basics. And set, this all I was given. The next one is called as what now? Select into statement. What is this select into statement, sir? Generally, in SQL language, can you remember? This is actually your table. Yes or no? Whenever you need to call a table data or you want to display table data, you want to retrieve a table data, by using of select command, that particular table data we are retrieval. Yes or no? If I'm writing select star from table name, up to here if I'm writing means what it was happen? Your complete table data will be displayed. But sir, I wanted specific row. Then where condition? Suppose I wanted a 7788 employee data. Then how are you writing? Select star from EMP where EMP number is equals to 7788. Got it? Yes. This is SQL language we called. But the same scenario, I want to retrieve specific row or rows data from a table. Then this is select star from table name where condition you can't use under PLSQL. Because PLSQL doesn't support a select query. The select queries belongs to SQL only. But sir, in SQL, if we want to retrieve table data, we are using this query. But how in PLSQL, if I want to retrieve the data, how I can retrieve, sir? Means that there is one more select command is there that is called a select star into, what is this? Variables from EMP table. Now both purpose is same. Purpose is what? Retrieving data. A particular table data retrieving. Both are same. Same look like. Same command also. Select. But syntax change na? What is the above syntax? Select star from table name. Where condition. But in PLSQL, how to write? Select star not from into variables, then after from. From after, if you wanted condition, you can give condition. What is this? EMP number is equals to 777. So select query, above one is a SQL. Select star into variable is called a PLSQL. And SQL select command you can't use under PLSQL. That's why PLSQL is very important interviews. In PLSQL language is not supporting select star from table name command. In place of that command, they're introducing one more select command that is called a select star into variables from table. Okay, if anybody asks you, can you tell me what is the select command syntax in PLSQL? What do you want to tell? Select a star into, you have to write. Don't write select a star from table. That query is a SQL query. This query is a PLSQL. So that purpose I'm going to using. So that is what we called as here. So select a into statement. Storing a table columns values into variables, and it returns always a single row or single value. It can be using under which block? Execution. That means that this select query you can't use under declaration block. You can't use under exception block. You can use only execution block. And this is the syntax you can see. Select star. Otherwise you can use a column name 1, comma, column name 2, like multiple columns you can give it, and so on. Into where? Variables from where? So and so table. Which condition? Where condition. Suppose you wanted specific row, where condition. All rows, remove your where condition. Okay now? So this is what now? Syntax of which command? Select command in PLSQL. But the same select command in SQL, different. In PLSQL, this is. Are you clear? Yes. So now on this, we will write some program, but the programs I will show you on Monday session. Okay na? So before that, this document completely I'm sharing to you. Once you have to check if you have free time. So complete PDF format I'm sending to you, the complete introduction part of PLSQL. Okay na? Okay, right. Okay, once check it out, that main notes, main document, okay, and come to Monday, we will see it, okay na? Right, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much. Transaction dependency. Transitive dependency. Transitive dependency. Transitive dependency means what the definition I said? Once check it out definition. So non-primary key column. That means the column should not be primary key. So one's non-primary key column is depending on another non-primary key column. That means non-primary key, non-primary key. There are two columns are there in the table. If one non-primary key column data is depending on another non-primary key column data, then it is called as a transitive dependencies. For example,
What a primary key, then we call it as a normal column.
Normal key. That is called, I'm telling. Non-primary key column is normal column. A normal column data depends on another normal column data. For example, here subject is there. Here teacher is there. Teacher column, subject column. So now teacher column is also non-primary key, normal column. Subject is also normal column. Definitely teacher always depends on subject now. So that means what happened? Teacher depends on subject means teacher and subject, these are called a normal, that's called a transitive dependency columns. Decomposing. See, every problem, how to overcome that problem means decompose. Decompose means split cheyali. Two tables. So అప్పుడు ఏం చేస్తాం సబ్జెక్ట్ ని వన్ టేబుల్ లో పెట్టుకుంటాం, టీచర్ అనే కాలమ్ ని ఇంకో టేబుల్ లో స్టోర్ చేసుకుంటాం. క్యాండిడేట్ కి అంటే ఏంటంటే ప్రతి సింగిల్ సూపర్ అంటే సింగిల్ కాలమ్ ఆఫ్ సూపర్ కీనే క్యాండిడేట్ కీ అంటాం. సో అంటే ఏంటి, ఇప్పుడు సపోజ్ ఏం చెప్పాను, సూపర్ కీ ప్లస్ సూపర్ కీ ప్లస్ సూపర్ కీ, ఎనీ టూ సూపర్ కీ కాలమ్స్ will become a super key, but any two super key columns will not become a candidate key. So that means అంటే దాని అర్థం ఏంటి, తెలియవచ్చు కదా, దాని అర్థం ఏంటి అంటే ఇండివిజువల్ గా తీసుకోవాలని అర్థం. క్యాండిడేట్ కి అంటే ఏంటి, ఇండివిజువల్. కాంబినేషన్ కూడా చెప్పాం కదా, కాంపోజిట్ ప్రైమరీకి. ఇప్పుడు కాంపోజిట్ ప్రైమరీకి ఉంది కదా, మల్టిపుల్ కాలమ్స్. ఇప్పుడు కాంపోజిట్ ప్రైమరీ కీ అనేది మల్టిపుల్ కాలమ్స్ లో అప్లై చేస్తాము. సో ఎప్పుడైతే నువ్వు కాంపోజిట్ ప్రైమరీ కీ అనేది మల్టిపుల్ కాలమ్స్ లో అప్లై చేస్తావు అనుకో, ఆ కాలమ్స్ ని నేను క్యాండిడేట్ కి అనకూడదు. ఇప్పుడు కాంపోజిట్ ప్రైమరీ కీ అంటే ఏంటి, మల్టిపుల్ కాలమ్స్ పైన అప్లై చేస్తాం. ఏది, ప్రైమరీకి. ప్రైమరీకి మల్టిపుల్ కాలమ్స్ లో అప్లై చేస్తాం. సో అప్పుడు ఆ మల్టిపుల్ కాలమ్స్ మనం ఏమంటాము, సూపర్ కీస్ అంటాం. దట్ ఇస్ సూపర్ కీ. దట్ ఇస్ ఎందుకంటే ఎనీ కాంబినేషన్ ఆఫ్ సూపర్ కీ విల్ బికమ్ అగైన్ సూపర్ కీ. అంటే రెండు ఉండొచ్చు, ఒకటి ఉండొచ్చు, రెండు ఉండొచ్చు, మూడు ఉండొచ్చు, 10 ఉండొచ్చు. వాటన్నిటిని కలిపినా సూపర్ కీ అవుతుంది. బట్ క్యాండిడేట్ కి ఏంటంటే కలపకూడదు, ఇండివిజువల్ అనమాట. సో ఇండివిజువల్ అన్నప్పుడు ఏంటవుతుంది, కాంపోజిట్ ప్రైమరీ కీ అనేది ఏంటి, మల్టిపుల్ కాలమ్స్. సో అలాగ అప్లై చేయకూడదు. అప్పుడు ఏం చేయాలి, ఇండివిజువల్ గా అప్లై చేయాలి, సపరేట్ గా. ఈ కాలం పైన ఒక ప్రైమరీకి, ఈ కాలం పైన ఒక ప్రైమరీ. ఎస్, సపరేట్ గా అప్లై చేసుకున్నట్టు. సపరేట్ అంటే ఏంటి, ఇండివిజువల్ గా అప్లై చేస్తే ఆ ఇండివిజువల్ ప్రతి కాలం మనం ఏమంటామంటే ఒక క్యాండిడేట్ కి అంటాం. ఇప్పుడు నువ్వు ఉన్నావమ్మా, నువ్వు క్లాస్ రూమ్ లో ఒక 10 మంది గర్ల్స్ ఉన్నారు. 10 మంది గర్ల్స్ మీరంతా ఇండివిజువలే కదా. నువ్వు సపరేట్, ఆయన సపరేట్. అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుందంటే నువ్వు అనేది ఒక క్యాండిడేట్ కి, ఆమె ఒక క్యాండిడేట్, ఆమె ఒక క్యాండిడేట్. అలాగే 10 స్టూడెంట్స్ ఉంటే 10 క్యాండిడేట్స్ ఉంటారు అని అంటాం. క్యాండిడేట్ అంటే అర్థం ఏంటి, జనరల్ గా ఒక పర్సన్. ఇండివిజువల్ క్యాండిడేట్ కి అంటాం. ఇప్పుడు మీ ఇద్దరు కంబైన్ చేస్తాను అనుకో, ఇప్పుడు నిన్ను ఇంకొక అమ్మాయిని కంబైన్ చేస్తాను, అప్పుడు మీరు క్యాండిడేట్ కి కాదు, మీరు ఏమవుతారు, సూపర్ కీ అవుతారు. లేదు అన్నా మీ ఇద్దరిని ఏమనొచ్చు, కాంపోజిట్ ప్రైమరీకి అనొచ్చు.
కాంపోజిట్ ప్రైమరీకి అంటే మల్టిపుల్ కాలమ్స్ అన్నారు.
అప్లై చేస్తాం. ఓకే.